Game day brings its ups and downs, celebration and disappointment, anxiety and relief, friends and enemies. You can always argue over who should have won, but everyone can agree on great food. Appetizers, entrees, drinks, party platters, or even the taste of sweet victory. There's something for every season at Eat With Us restaurants.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Hey, good morning out there to you. Thanks as always for tuning in with us. I know there's a black screen behind me. Give me a few minutes to try to figure that out. I'm having a little bit of some technical difficulties out there this morning. Surprise, surprise. Here we go. Here's some things you need to know behind me. That's what we like to see, right? So here's what you need to know. Thanks for tuning in and starting off your morning with a little bit of technical difficulties with me. Always happens when we have a lot going on, right? So here's what you need to know as you're headed out the door this morning. Number one is we're still dealing with some fog out there. So if you're headed out early like you were yesterday morning, more fog we're dealing with. Not as prevalent, not as widespread, not as impactful, but still out there this morning. Another thing we're going to be talking about is the latest on your storm timing out there for today, but especially out there for tomorrow. And then after everything's said and done, we're going to be tracking a major cool down ahead as well. Current alerts first. Let's talk about what alerts we're seeing out there this morning. And that is a dense fog advisory. Again, like yesterday, we're still seeing some dense fog out there. Move my coffee out of the way so y'all don't have to see it. Some dense fog out there for some of us. Northwest Mississippi kind of not getting in on that today, or not as much. The further you are to the Mississippi River and then down all the way into Holmes and Itala County as well, not included in this. However, DeSoto, Tate, Yalobusha County, Webster, Choctaw, Winston, and East are dealing with that dense fog advisory. This is until 9 a.m. this morning. So as you're headed out, you know the drill by now, especially if you were out there yesterday. Just take it slow out there. Keep your beams on low. Be careful and aware of those cars around you, especially in front of you and behind you, when it's a little bit harder to see and takes a little bit longer to see the cars. Here's a look outside at that fog. This is a look over in Blue Springs. Look at this. MDOT traffic cameras across Blue Springs, looking at 22 in just about every direction you can. And you can see there, can barely see that traffic light. Things just look a little blurry out there in those cameras. That's showing those fog concerns. Temperatures in the upper 50s right now, so definitely not chilly by any means as you're headed out this morning. And that's the same story across the board. Let me show you another live look where they're not dealing with as prevalent fog. This is over in Lafayette County. Now, I'm not saying some portions of Lafayette County aren't dealing with this, especially in your outlying areas, but within the city of Oxford, not too bad. Looking at this MDOT traffic camera at 6th and Jackson Avenue. And I show you this because we looked at that yesterday and it was a very different story. We saw a lot more fog there where we could almost not see the traffic light in the distance. So some of us waking up a little bit better out there this morning than we were yesterday. But dense fog still out there for some. Again, here's a live look down in Itala County, some fog out there in Kosciuszko. So as I said before, just take it slow out there, be extra cautious. Here's a look at temperatures this morning in the 50s. Definitely, again, not chilly out there by any means of the imagination. 50s across the board, depending on where you are. 57 in Tupelo, 55 in Bruce, 53 in Eupora, 55 over in Grenada, 57 in Louisville. So all of us waking up in the 50s out there this morning. Again, definitely not chilly, and we're going to be seeing an afternoon a lot like yesterday. Were you out and about yesterday? It definitely was warm out there by any means of the imagination. Going into this afternoon, even warmer. Also going to throw on some rain chances as well. We'll be in the 50s by 7, 60s by your 10 o'clock hour. 70s are back as we head into your afternoon. So yeah, warmer conditions will be on the way. Also about a 20% chance of some showers as we head into your afternoon and evening. Not looking at anything too of over concern today in terms of severe weather, but we are going to be looking at that for your Friday. Take a look at this. Here's where that system is that's going to be causing us some grief as we head over the next 24 to 48 hours. It's over in the plains. You can see that low pressure system and rain over in portions of Oklahoma stretching into portions of northern Texas as well. It's going to be, again, continuing to shift in. Let me put this into motion as we head throughout your Thursday, but not necessarily for us. Going throughout your Thursday afternoon, you can see storms kind of reaching from Illinois down into Arkansas. Those mainly stay off to our west today. However, we can't say the same out there for your Friday. Could even see a few storms out there early on Friday. So if you got any Friday morning plans, we could see a few. Now, these will have some rumbles of thunder probably with them. Yeah, maybe some gusty winds, but the tornado threat doesn't come into play until the afternoon with these storms as that continues to move in, especially into your afternoon and later evening hours. Now, we're going to be talking about what model runs are looking like this morning. If you watched us live at 10, Matt and Gabe were talking about the difference in our high resolution model runs, even from the afternoon to the evening. We're going to be talking about what the updates look like this morning. And I hate to say it, but it's some good news. I hate to say it because I don't want to say it too quick, but it's some good news with the model runs this morning of what overall we can expect for your Friday. So if things stay consistent, not as prevalent as we were thinking in the last 24 hours. So again, we're going to continue to keep an eye on this as we go into Friday. That should sweep through overnight. By the time you're waking up on Saturday, you should be good to go. We could see a few showers out there early on Saturday, but that severe weather threat gone and done. Here's a look at the latest severe weather risk issued by the Storm Prediction Center, level 1 out of 5 for today. Again, that stretches from Illinois down into Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas. That has been pushed further into northwest Mississippi out there for today, mainly for your overnight hours. But again, main thing we're going to be watching is Friday because that's when that level 2 out of 5 comes into play and does include us. Now you can see here though, this has been clipped a little bit further south. We were all once in this. Even Northwest Tennessee was in this. So it was further off to our north, even further out of our area. That has been clipped further south. We can see some of our counties not even included in this. DeSoto County now in that level 1, portions of Tunica County stretching all the way to places like Alcorn and Tishomingo County, very northern sections of that, now not included in that level 2 out of 5. So that tells me they're continuing to extend this south. That also tells me they're looking at those high resolution models the same way that we are, saying this might be a little bit further south of us even. So coming up next, we'll talk about what those high resolution models look like this morning. We'll talk about your latest timing, of course, of what you can expect out there for your Friday and your full 7-day forecast. It is all coming up. And good morning to all of you. I see all of your good morning messages. Thank you for telling me good morning. Good morning to all of y'all. I'll be right back with the latest of what you need to know.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.
When you've been injured, don't settle for a lawyer who doesn't even know where you live. Call Langston and Lott. Local lawyers, personal service, real results.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Maggye McCauley.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Maggye McCauley. Hope you have your cup of coffee and you're ready to go out the door this morning. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to our weather over the next really 24 hours to 48 hours. So let's get into it. Here's a look at your full forecast. Starting off with what's going on outside right now. Not much. Mississippi Live radar this morning, not tracking anything, so you're good to go in terms of rain out there this morning. However, we are still dealing with some visibility concerns. Not as bad, not as widespread, not as dense as yesterday. but some of us still dealing with that. You can see down to 0 in places like Attala County for your visibility. Louisville, Knoxville County, same story. Up north, seeing that from Holly Springs up into places like Prentiss and Lee County as well. So some patchy dense fog, I would say, settling across the area. Here's a live look in Winona. Not necessarily seeing it too bad there because you can see those trees off in the distance. Temperatures in the upper 50s in Winona, so definitely not starting off chilly by any means. Here's a look in Tupelo where that fog is a little bit more prevalent. You can see it kind of blurry off in the distance where that's kind of settled in. And temperatures in the upper 50s in Tupelo as well. It's just not chilly at all going into your morning. It's not going to be cold this afternoon either. Definitely looking at a warmer than average day ahead. Hey, airport delays this morning, not tracking any. So that's some good news out there from Oklahoma, Memphis, Birmingham, and Atlanta. Know anybody hitting the skies this morning? Even with the storms over in Oklahoma City, still not seeing any major delays in that airport either. Your school bus forecast for your kiddos today. Not going to necessarily need the jacket. Yeah, we're starting off in the low to middle 50s. By the time you're picking them up, though, we're in the 70s out there. And again, that slight chance of rain going to be picked up into your afternoon. Some of us even hitting the middle 70s. Take a look at this. High temperatures out there near record warmth. Our record in Tupelo today is 73, set back in 2006. What is our forecasted high? 72. So we're forecasting a degree below average or below record out there. So definitely something to watch. Near record warmth. That's the same story across the board. Middle 70s in January, 74 in Eupora, 76 in Kosciuszko, 74 down in Louisville. So definitely some warm temperatures out there this afternoon. Let's now take it into futurecasts. I'm going to go all the way through your Saturday morning. Let's look at what model runs are saying this morning. Now, I had to choose a model to show you this morning. And sometimes that can be kind of difficult to show you what exactly is going to be happening. Which one do I agree with the most? It's usually kind of a mixture of things. This is the model run that I chose. It's what's called our strike model. If you watched yesterday at 10 p.m., Matt and Gabe kind of took you through multiple models to show you what everything is looking like and what which ones are showing a little bit better projections for us. The good news I have is the two that I was going to choose from this morning, it's called the HRRR and the Barron 3K model or our strike model, are kind of more in agreement than they were last night in projections being better. So that's some good news. Let's talk about it, okay? That's just my preface. That's my precursor to showing you this. Going into your Thursday afternoon, things looking to stay dry. Into your afternoon and evening hours, that is going to be changing. So now afternoon looking dry. Into your afternoon and evening, I can't rule out maybe a stray shower trying to creep over the Mississippi River, but a majority of activity stays off to our west today. A few showers are going to be creeping in overnight. Some of these, yeah, could wake you up to some rumbles of thunder. You can see this around Greenwood, south of Grenada, up in Marshall County as well. I think these are why some of us have been extended under that level 1 out of 5 risk out there for your Thursday due to maybe a few storms creeping in for your early Friday morning. Overall, not overly concerned with those outside of a rumble of thunder. Going into your Friday morning a little bit later, you could still see a few showers on the stronger side of things. Again, heavy rainfall, rumbles of thunder, our main concern out of these as we look at Tishomingo County, Red Bay, Lee County, all the way down into Houston and Eupora as well Friday morning. So even into Friday morning, going to want to have your rain gear ready. Let's go into the afternoon because that's what we're going to be concerned with, right? Showers starting already at 3 p.m. and just going to continue to kind of lift in the area. Watch as I had 3 all the way through 6. Things get a lot more busy, right? So that's why I say if you got any afternoon plans and evening plans, you kind of are going to want to know where you're going to be. Heavy rain, 1, is it fun to drive through? 2, things could be strong to severe. So you're going to want to know where exactly you're going to be and be able to get there if things do become on the stronger side of things. Here's a look at Friday at 6 p.m. This isn't overly concerning to me. Right now, as I'm looking at this, it looks like rain. Looks like just plain rain, some rumbles of thunder. Down to the south is where I'm looking at for maybe the possibility of a few stronger storms, where that kind of leading edge is. I'm going to zoom out and show you exactly what we're looking at. Okay. This is what I would be more concerned with if it was in our area. Right now, models are having this a little bit further south, this kind of leading edge where they could see some rotation, some wind potential as well. But that's not far off from us, guys. That is just to our south. So still looking at Golden Triangle region, Louisville, Noxubee County into Aliceville, still looking at this area for a potential for some brief spin up tornadoes at best. But again, the further south you go, the worst conditions look to be on model runs this morning. Yesterday, this was in our area, and that's why we were kind of a little bit more concerned. This morning, models putting it a little bit further south. You're going to have to keep watching. We'll see if models stay consistent with that. If they do, though, that is good news for us. That doesn't mean we couldn't still see, again, a few storms on the stronger side of things. That doesn't mean that places south of the Golden Triangle region from Attala County over to Macon and Aliceville couldn't still see the possibility of a brief spin-up tornado, but conditions, again, looking to continue to shift further to the south. So that's some good news for us with these model runs. That's going to continue to move off. Yes, we could still see a few heavier pockets behind it, but as we head further along into your Saturday night or early Saturday morning into Friday night, that's when things will start to kind of quiet down, midnight and on. And then as you're headed out for your Saturday morning, got any early morning plans, we're just looking at some light shower activity out there. So that's overall what models are looking like this morning. That's the change. That's the consistency that's been at play. A little bit better news for us. Again, you're going to want to keep, though, tuning in, especially this evening, to see if models run to run stay consistent on putting those worst conditions off to our south. Right now, it's just to our south. Let's talk about the triple threat that you can get only here on Mississippi Live Weather. This is looking at your potential for wind damage, hail, and rotation. And we've been keeping a high alert on those rotation tracks, been showing you that day to day. Right now, not as prevalent as yesterday. Looking at rotation tracks more along the lines in north Louisiana into southern and central Mississippi. Now you can see some of those darker colors showing up in those areas that we were watching on your futurecast, south of the Golden Triangle region, and then just south of us, closer to Meridian. This is the area we're going to be watching for the most likely of the potential of some rotation out there for North Mississippi. But however, the further south you go, the better conditions do get from that. Here's a look at your storm threats, still the same as they were yesterday. A medium confidence level for a brief spin up, especially in those areas previously mentioned. Still looking at some strong wind gusts. Not too concerned as we were with this, with the main threat off to our south, but still could see some gusty conditions even before storms and outside of storms as this front does get closer. Low threat in terms of hail, and then also taking a look at the flash flooding potential. Take a look at our forecast rainfall going over this system, really around 1 to 2 inches. I think a lot of us will pick up around 2 inches, especially in northeast Mississippi, but it's still a corridor we're watching from Monroe County across the state line that could see around 3 inches, maybe over 3 inches. I think this is overdoing it a little bit, but still watching that corridor. That's where we could see the potential of some flash flooding overnight and then early into your Saturday morning. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 70s over your next few days, so don't be getting out the big coat just yet. Going into your Saturday, we'll see temperatures in the 60s and then falling from there. So don't think that's going to be a nice day out there for Saturday. 60s into the afternoon, and then temperatures really start to take a dive. We'll be in the 40s out there on your Sunday, 40s for Monday, 50s out there as we head Tuesday into Wednesday. So definitely some cooler conditions on the way after we get out of this storm threat out there for your Friday. Hey, make sure to tune in with us. We'll be live again in the next 10 minutes, talking about everything you need to know for your day ahead. We'll take a look at those foggy conditions in some of our cameras yet again to see if anything has gotten worse or better. Of course, another full look at those storm threats as well for your Friday, all coming up in the next 10 minutes.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy